So last night in Where Winds Meet, we got a bunch of new content. The Path Trials are finally here, and this will allow you to obtain a bunch of good rewards if you don't mess this up. So let's get into the details and show you how this can give you a significant boost towards upgrading your inner ways. So to start, you will already be familiar with these trials, as you've had to do the foundation trials to do the breakthroughs to level up. We've already had available the divine trials, which I haven't really bothered to fully complete, but it's just some extra content you can do, and these are the only real rewards you're getting. But now we have the path trial and the store that comes with it. So as per reset last night, we've obtained 5 attempts, and you can store up to 10 attempts, and you can read here how you will obtain 5 attempts every week. So you need to be very careful where you're using those attempts. On top of that, there's a limited time event, which is these path challenges, and they're only available for 2 weeks. If you want to be getting all of these rewards, you need to be very careful on which paths you actually do these trials on, as you will only have 15 attempts. So we'll highlight what to do for that a little bit later. But you might think these rewards are not really worth the effort, and I can kind of agree. But what is really good are the first clear attempts. You can see the amount of inner way notes you can get for every single path. I've already obtained some here, and even if you don't need these inner ways, especially the legendary ones, they can be melted down into these vintage book plates and used to obtain the inner way notes that you do need for your class. Now, in terms of actually doing the trials and completing these challenges, you don't have to worry about the naming of attempts. This just means when you successfully clear the trial, it's going to consume the attempt. So even if you go into a trial and you're like, whoops, I'm on the wrong build, you can very simply just leave. It will say you failed, but it will not consume one of your attempts. So it's not exactly attempt, it's a successful clear. That's the only time it consumes this. And even if you do successfully clear and don't get all of these achievements, you can still go back and do the trial as many times as you want after you've already cleared it. No attempts will be deducted for challenging cleared chapters, so ones you've already done. Each challenge will have a certain condition, like on Silkbind Jade, I can knock enemies airborne and it'll deal some extra damage to them with lightning. These challenges are ultimately super easy, and if you successfully clear it, it will consume an attempt. And it'll give you the first clear rewards like here, but only some of them. As we can see, the amount of rewards that I have left to obtain is like 8 purple notes, 450 Echo Jade, and that's versus something I have not done yet, which is 510 Echo Jades and 10 of the purple notes. So you will indeed have to clear all the chapters in order to obtain all the first clear rewards. And you're going to want to do that with every single build eventually, so you can get all of the rewards. What I will do is I'll switch to a different build, like this here. I've done some build upgrades, so no longer have that weapon to use, but there is a smart fill option, not that it is that great. And we can do this chapter. You get a description of the conditions for the trial, and then you just need to clear the enemies. You kill them, you get your rewards, it consumes an attempt. We can look at our path challenges, and you can see this is where it's recommended to do these trials on multiple different paths. We just obtained 4 points for doing so on 2 different paths. There's another one to do so on 3 different paths. However, there is also one where you need to get to chapter 8 on a path. If the description is correct and we get 5 attempts every Sunday, we should have 15 attempts total to obtain all of these rewards. So if you want to do so, you will need to get to chapter 8 of a trial, just completing all these up until that point, and then making sure you do chapter 1 on 3 different paths. And you should be sorted as long as you're getting all the stars in the trials that you do. You only need to complete 12 of them with 3 stars, and you'll obtain 35 stars total. So that's essentially how you will get all of the rewards. Getting 30 stars will also net you all of these rewards, and every time you clear a new chapter on a path, you will obtain some of the first clear rewards, not all of them. So it's very likely you'll still have to get all the chapters done to get all of those inner way notes. The only real thing you can mess up on are these 2-week-long path trial challenges. You're going to have to do all of them in order to get all of these rewards. And honestly, this is only 10 Ebon Iron, which you get by doing like 1 outpost, so it's not the end of the world. But yes, in order to get it, just make sure you're doing chapter 1 on 3 paths. And the rest you can put all into your main path, and then work on optimizing a second path to do the rest of the trials on that, and slowly work towards doing all of them eventually, as we only get, again, 5 attempts every week at this time on Sunday reset. As for the legacy exchange, you will obtain this currency simply by doing those trials, and you can grab some inner way notes. In order to obtain these chests, I simply need to get to chapter 3 of a trial. So I can do that real quick. Select the next chapter, make sure I have my build selected, and start the challenge. Once you kill the enemy, you get your rewards, and you get some of the first clear rewards. And we can immediately go to the next challenge. Kill your enemies, it consumes your attempt, and you get your rewards. If you want to know what enemies you'll be facing, simply select enemy traits, and they're all listed here. But with that, you can see we've reached chapter 3, so we've obtained some more points here. We can claim these rewards, and we can also go to the store and now have the ability to purchase all the items. These have a weekly stock, which will reset on Sunday, the usual time. So these are some great extra rewards that you can purchase, particularly the Mystic Skill Breakthrough support boxes, allowing me to break through the remainder of my Mystic skills. Do be aware, this uncut jade currency, make sure you're actually spending it. As per the description here, you can only hold a maximum of 600, and we easily get enough to purchase all the valuable items. The rest you can use to buy coins or some cosmetics. But that's it for the video. The trials do get more challenging as you go through them, but it's also a great way to learn what the other classes can do and how to use their abilities. So grab yourself those extra rewards. Thank you for watching, and a special thank you to all my channel members for your added support. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now. Oh, and yes, with regards to legendary gear drops, I have added some data with regards to outposts, as that's what I've been spending my energy on to get those Ebon Iron for upgrading Mystic skills, and this is currently where it's at. The sample size is still pretty low, so we'll need more data before we can reach any good conclusions. Even with the campaign bosses, you can consider 65, it's not exactly a lot of data. Same for the chests I open. It could well end up that the drop rates are the same across the different content, but at least for me it looks like opening chests is significantly less than just getting the gear drops from like outposts and campaign bosses. But I'll continue to add data to this as I get the energy to do so. Some of you are saying I need to spend 6,000 energy in order to get proper results. Yes, it would help, but where am I going to get that? It will take quite a while.